you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata from City Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by 1 vote, they're losing it by data.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, registration is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Margaret stop. Who tell the truth? Margaret stop. Defend the ghetto youth. Margaret stop. Radio station is the fruit. Margaret stop. Straight up from the root. Margaret stop. I do it for the love. Him not do it for no money. Straight up. Him attack. Educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio. Catch the vibes. It's integrity. Straight up. And SCAP stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Margaret stop. Defend the ghetto youth. Margaret stop. Radio station is the fruit. Margaret stop. Straight up from the root. Margaret stop. Who tell the truth? Margaret stop. Defend the ghetto youth. Margaret stop. Radio station is the fruit. Margaret stop. Straight up from the root. Margaret stop. We have to gather wrong. Grab a seat and sit down. Pay attention. Education. Liberation. We have to stand strong. Ben's cap upon the radio. Lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already. We have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Margaret stop. Defend the ghetto youth. Margaret stop. Radio station is the fruit. Margaret stop. Straight up from the root. Margaret stop. Who tell the truth? Margaret stop. Defend the ghetto youth. Margaret stop. Radio station is the fruit. Margaret stop. Straight up from the root. Margaret stop. I do it for the love. Him not do it for no money. Straight up. Him attack. Educating everybody. Big up my friends.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good night. My name is Mark Benshop. Let's get straight down into business. We have lots and lots to talk about, even though, guess what? The candles, that's correct. The candles are burning. The candles are burning. I have never seen so many candles burn. Candles, that is, burn. Throughout the country and outside of Guyana by Guyanese. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Somebody's making money with the candles. Somebody's making money with the candles. Thousands of candles throughout Guyana, thousands outside of Guyana, in Barbados, in St. Lucia, they're having their stuff tomorrow. In was it Antigua? What's going on in Antigua, guys? Are they having anything in Antigua, Anguilla, you name it, all over the world, all over the globe where Guyanese are. If you have burnt a candle or attended a candlelight vigil, you've got to do it. One call and hundreds of people go out. One call and dozens of people go out, and they go out because it's the right thing to do. And now this is not about hypocrisy, mind you, because when you burn the candle, hallelujah, when you burn the candle, you burn it seeking justice. You burn out bad mind. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying. I don't know. I get into my ricketics. I started the program so nicely and all about burn out bad mind, burn out. It's a Guyanese thing in me. You can't help yourself because we feel that when you burn a candle, everybody feel that they burn a candle, they burn out bad mind, they burn out this, they burn out this. We're talking about burning the candle, right? Because you know what the corrupt PPP regime, they love to do? They get their minions and they listen to these shows. And then they take your stuff and they splice it, they cut it, and they all manner of things. But on a serious note, I don't give a darn what the PPP does. What I do know is that the next elections, this one here, coming up, they will be voted out of office. They have got to go. People are burning the candles. Forget about the roads. That's dotishness that the PPP is coming up with. They're probably paying people to do those sort of things. You know, the PPP has a history of paying people to do things. Even their own supporters are aware of these things. This is 2025, guys. This is not like long time. You know, like Auntie sang in that song. This time a long time, this time a long time, this not the before time. This time a long time, this time a long time. Long time had one flambeau lamp. But these days, they have, you know what? Long time have them phone where you just go in and take a whole hour. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da. You gotta get all your fingers, you know. Sorry. Da-da-dang, da-da-dang. Take a whole hour before it dial. And if you forget what you dial, you got to start all over again. The point that I'm making is not to demonstrate that I'm an old school guy. I'm a beeper. Beeper. How many of you guys know beeper? Right? I know Joylin Cutting. You probably had about 4 or 5 beeper or beepers or whatever. Don't worry, Francine couldn't probably thief bingo money during those days. But good night to all of you. Again, justice. Justice for Adriana. She is set to be, buried on Monday, the 5th. I think they may put that, I don't know, the 5th. That is this coming Monday, the funeral. What else you guys have planned? All throughout the weekend, candlelight vigil. You know, we're not seeing any at State House, you know. All we're seeing and hearing coming from State House is propaganda. That's all. And what they're attempting to do is to divert attention because they think, right, Chisulchi Pepper and 68 and all of you, they think people are kunumunus. They are diverting attention from the real issue. The real issue is not a couple of people that probably, those guys who were probably paid by PPP thugs to go out and do those sort of things. They do that, right? That's not the real issue. The real issue, Rhonda Lane, come to the front of the class, mind you. Come to the front of the class. So the real issue is justice for the little girl. I have, in all the years that I've been on this earth, and I'm an old man now, don't be fooled. I've been around the block a long time now, probably longer than all of you guys watching this show right now. And so the reason why I'm saying that is that I have never seen, when Brooklyn and Queens can get along on an issue, when the folks in Queens and the folks in Brooklyn, when they can get along. Now, I'm not saying Queens just has one set of Guyanese and Brooklyn has a lot of mixture of Guyanese live in Queens, mind you. But from a political standpoint, you would think that Queens only has Guyanese of East Indian descent. A lot of Guyanese of African descent and all sort of Guyanese live in Queens and in Brooklyn too. You guys don't know that. But politically speaking, there've always been this rivalry, so to speak. But when Queens, and I got to say, I am impressed and I'm happy because it's 2025. Don't worry with one and two of them pacus within the midst. One and two pacus who have no heart, actually. And not just in Queens, mind you. But I'm glad the folks in Queens went out in their numbers. It could have been larger, but it's okay. The fact that they went out, the folks in Queens, Guyanese in Queens, and non-Guyanese too. And in Brooklyn as well. Kudos. You just got to ring the bell and boom, people are going to go out. But I say when you burn the candle for the little girl, there must not be hypocrisy. You cannot support a corrupt government, a government that is responsible for what's happening right now in Guyana, and then come next breath and shed crocodile tears and light a candle and go back and support the very oppressive government. Now, I have an issue with that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. I do have an issue, right? Veronica and all of you, good night. Every single one of you, Janet, Elias, Eva, Ann Lewis, Siobhan, Cheryl, Golligard, every single one of you, Lynette. If I don't call your names, don't get upset because I'm old man now. I'm tired of people getting upset with me. I can't even hurt a fly. I'm just so. Here's what I'm happy with what I'm seeing. It tells me that change is around the corner. All Guyanese, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of whether they swing so, whether they swing so, it doesn't matter. People are ready and people are willing to vote the corrupt PPP out of office. Hallelujah, right? Yeah. That's just the feeling that I'm getting. People are just sick and tired of those pacus in office. Now let me just they got a couple of things I want to talk about, and we'll get back to let me show you how the corrupt PPP regime operates. They're corrupt, they're murderous, don't be fooled. And their only focus right now is to cover things up. Their focus is not for justice. They're not fighting for justice for the little girl Adriana, They don't care about justice, guys. They just care about just pushing their hands in with this little money there. Let me see something. They just care about pushing their hands and taking out a little couple. I'm not showing off. It's a shucks. It's a 5,000 dollars, right? I got to see it now, man. Oh, a 5,000 dollars. And every time there's a situation, they feel that they are going to give money out. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anybody get money, but it's pretty obvious that what they're going to do, they're going to want to take care of the funeral. They're going to want to throw some money in whatever hands and say, look, and don't worry about that. Everything will be all right. If you want anything, take my phone number, call me directly, and so forth and so on. It's a form of bribery. It is not. If that were to be the case, then there should be an agency that deals with that. But anytime you have someone who sits there in the position of the office of the president, even if you're installed or whatever, you're still sitting there. And when your only focus is to just bribe, and then that's my opinion, mind you, you bribe instead of looking for justice, instead of ensuring that there is justice. There are agencies that can take care of certain things. But you can't have somebody occupying the highest seat of the office of the land, so to speak, and then all you're concerned about is not justice for the victim, not justice for their families, but see how you could quiet them down, hush them up. And then you have the idiot like a James Bond, the so-called lawyer like a James Bond, is saying that compensation to victims, especially by the state, it's a form of justice. It is justice. Gosh, if I wasn't on the air right now, there's so yeah, that's a James Bond. That's for him and the others like him. Since when that is justice? To give a little money in order to cover up and divert attention is justice? Oh, Father, oh, gosh. These LBs, I tell you. BVI, let's get to BVI. Forget about that LB. Let's go to BVI. Thank you so much to the folks in BVI. That's the British Virgin Islands. Yep, they had a lovely turnout. Then the folks in St. Martin's, they're having their stuff as well. People all across, the people in the UK, congratulations to those folks in the UK. Some very, very simple folks got together and they put their stuff in the UK together, and wow, it was a massive turnout, very impressive. Throughout the world, we are seeing these sort of things. If anyone is in China, and I do have some folks there in China, maybe they can just burn a candle and let us see that they're in China. I'll find a couple of my friends in China, and you'll see. Throughout the world, people are doing this, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed that people are seeing the corrupt PPP regime. Don't be fooled. They might have their candlelight vigil, and some of them going to go on the first thing they're going to say is no politics. Why? Why is that necessary? Why is that necessary? To say that this is not about politics, and then to say to some of the speakers, or to say before people go up to say something, yeah, don't say nothing about politics. Yeah, don't say nothing. Anytime you have a candlelight vigil and they don't want to say anything about politics, must know what sort of candlelight vigil. That's not a candlelight vigil in honor or seeking justice for the little girl, because it's all about politics. It is. If the politics was right in Guyana, then that little girl, there's a high possibility that that little girl would have been alive today. That's just, again, my opinion. Because when they were crying out and asking for the police to go in there and all manner of stuff, the police were afraid to go into that building. The police were afraid to do their job as a result of bad politics. Because they felt that if they had gone into that building, even though folks within that building, maybe manager, maybe the owner, maybe were not giving them access, they were afraid to do their job because they knew of the political connection between the owner and folks in high office. We're told that the owner is connected to Irfan Ali, that they're good friends. And so when some people say this is not about politics, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand the issue. And they feel that just clicking something like this, and what is it? You click something, what is it? And you burn the candle, you just click something, you burn the candle, and you just go back home. And me want nothing to do with politics. There's not politics. The little girl died, and we just want to get justice. But there's not politics. Really? So if it's not politics, why then, again, I'm not getting into no big conspiracy and conspiratorial theory and all. I'm not getting into that. We are dealing with simple facts. Here goes. Irfan Ali has to say publicly whether he is connected to the owner of the hotel. Irfan Ali should say publicly, and then these are questions that I've been asking from day one, whether during the time that the little girl, Adriana Young, went missing, whether there was a communication between himself and the owner of the hotel. That's all I'm asking. The next question is whether the owner is a member of the PPP and a donor, a financial donor of the PPP. And let's see the books. Let's see whether he has given millions of dollars to the PPP. And so if and when that is proven, then you guys will understand, especially those of you who are saying, no, this is not about politics. This is about, if it's not about politics, it's about what? It's about what? Y'all have these candlelight vigils, and y'all freaking for talk the truth. Y'all freaking for say it like it is. So y'all half-stepping in this lighting of the candle. All you're half-stepping, right, Roxy? They're half-stepping. It means that they're afraid. We want to talk about politics. This is not what happened to the little girl is not about politics. And now let's go, since it's not about politics, let's go now to the police officer, the senior police. Forget about the ordinary ranks on the ground. I noticed they calling somebody wet pants and all. Forget about them. Let's talk about the most senior officer on the ground. Happens to be the commander, assistant commissioner of police, is it? Yeah. Mandal, the most senior on the ground. What happened? Tell me. What happened? The most senior on the ground. Why is it? And this is what I'm asking this question here, guys. Why is it? Why is it that the most senior officer on the ground, Mandal, from all appearances, is basically protecting the hotel, protecting the owner, and diverting attention? And now this is not propaganda. I'm not sitting here just spreading rumors or whatever. Now let me show you guys. And the family members have confirmed. Now, this is the evidence. Let me show you guys. I heard it. I heard this on live on video, live on Facebook. The commander at that time, the most senior on the ground, we didn't see any above him. And so this is what he did. He pulled his phone out and he showed it to friends of the family and the aunt of the family, I believe, and said, look, look, look. The girl left the hotel in a car. The girl left the hotel. That is what he said. She left the hotel in a red car, a red Ram, or however you pronounce that. Oh yeah, the little girl left. That's what they were saying. The senior police officer on the ground was saying that to the family. Until when they saw the video that the commander was showing them, in order to quiet things down and in order to have them go home. We get this locked. Don't worry. Y'all go home. We got this covered. We're going to take care of things. I tell you, she left in the car and she went east. The car went east towards Reed and Hope. So I don't know if the senior officer, his plan was for the people to leave in front of the hotel, jump in. Yeah, y'all come. Let me go down Reed and Hope side and look for this car. What kind of car are we looking for? We're looking for a red car, a red Ram. Let me go. Was that the intention? And that's a question I'm asking. Was that the intention? Now, if he, being the most senior officer, Commander Mandel, if he being the most senior officer on the ground and couldn't investigate whether that little girl in the video that he has on his phone, based on photographs, since he got the video, he should have been able to call the mother and the father aside and say, can I speak with you for a moment? Sit them down and said, look, I just received this footage. I am not sure whether this is your daughter or not. Take a look at this video and tell me, please. So look at the video. Right off the bat, the mother said, that's not me daughter. But he did it in a way just like that, which was rather sinister. Come, y'all go home. Look, the girl left. Luckily, the mother, I don't know, the mother peeped and she saw, and this other young lady, I think her name is Laura, looked and said, that's not the little girl. So now if this officer, Mandel, was in possession of that video, that so-called video footage of the little girl over an hour, 2 hours, why didn't he settle this with the family? Why? He held on to it, didn't share it with the family, didn't try to get a couple minutes with them in order to ascertain whether that's the girl or not. He didn't do that. Bad investigation. This officer should have been sent home, not on administrative duties, fired, stripped. Well, of course, it's different in Guyana. You got to go to the Police Service Commission. Once you're above a particular, I think, assistant commissioner of police or superintendent, something like that, you got to go through the Police Service Commission and all these sort of crap in order to be fired. And so he cannot be fired just like that. If any senior officer in the Guyana Police Force watching, they can correct me if I'm wrong, if Mr. Paul Slow is watching. But I know that you guys know what's going on. It's all a distraction. Because from the get-go, from the beginning, their only intention, and I keep repeating this, guys, was to protect the owner of the hotel. That is what. And so when Irfan Ali rushed down there and all these manner of things, he rushed over there to meet with the parents and whoever else. It wasn't because he is so concerned. His main concern was to protect, again, this is my opinion, was to protect the owner of the hotel. And he took shame out of his eyes because he realized that this was getting really, really out of hand. And so he wanted to talk to the family. So he was dragged down there and he decided he's going to talk to the mother. And then he spoke to the aunt. And he realized that he cannot get through to the aunt. And he also probably realized that the aunt would more listen to her sister. And after that interaction with the aunt and the mother, Irfan Ali was running out of patience. You know, like he was haunted, just haunted. And where's your husband? Where's the father? Where is he? Where's his number? Where's his number? Because he's looking for that guy. Because something probably told Irfan Ali that he's not getting through to these women. And therefore, he wants to try a thing with the father to see if he can get through to the father. Where's the father? Where's the father? Where's the father? What's his number? Give him my number. What's his number? What's his number? Objective again. Read between the lines. Objective again. Now, we're all grown-ups, right? We're smart. We should be smart. They can't kunumu. They can't make us into kunumunus, right, Civic? They can't at all. All right. So what else it is that these kunumunus in the PPP are doing other than sending Robeson, Roper Ben to go and drag old wood? Look, his shoes. And he's supposed to get enough taxpayers' money, you know. Not even a here. Oh, God. Look at these guys. Now, let's talk about this here. The people did worse than this at Bath Settlement. Broke up, beat up, kick up, beat up, stone school buses, injured school children. All manner of things they did. This is light. This is nothing compared to what the PPP guys did at Bath Settlement and other places. This is nothing. Nothing. But the PPP, Irfan Ali and Jack Dio and all of them did not condemn anything the PPP supporters did at Bath Settlement. No condemnation. None whatsoever. Take a look. Nothing. No condemnation. They went out there, they talk, they whisper behind the scenes, maybe as political authors, and all these things. Bath Settlement. On March 7, 2020, the PPP didn't condemn this. The stoning of the school bus that injured school children, the PPP didn't condemn this. But now with a little couple of scratches on the road, they're rushing out, jumping on a mountaintop and bawling. Ah, Lord, we can't take it. They're bawling. They're bawling. They're hollering. They're not hollering because something that's hurting them. Of course, it's hurting them politically because it's making them look bad. They can't govern a country. Now, I don't know who did this. I'm not saying that it is right, but the people are frustrated. But what is wrong is that the PPP, the corrupt PPP guys, which is something that they do as usual, they basically say, PNC. Every single thing now is PNC. If or opposition figures. If somebody sneeze right now, they say it's opposition. If somebody bust is opposite. You guys know what I meant by that, right? Good. Is opposition. If the neighbor food not cook good, is some PNC guy pass and peep in the pot and the food spoil. And Air Finale would invite them at State House to give a description of who look in the pot and make the food spoil. That's what's going on. Because it is elections time and every single thing they want to blame on the opposition. If a PPP supporter wife can get pregnant now, they're blaming it on the opposition. If a man stumpy big toe, they're blaming it on the opposition. If the dal fall out of the pot, they're blaming it on bad eye of the opposition. If a lady get nara or a man get nara, they're blaming it on the opposition. If a lady stumps your toe, you know what they mean by that. They're blaming it on the opposition. Every single thing. But here what? They could talk, they could blame all they want blame on the opposition. The good thing about this, though, is that majority of the PPP supporters, they know they're on social media, they're on TikTok. But like Glenn said, TikTok. They're on TikTok, they're on Gram, as in Instagram. I got that one right. They're on Facebook. They're on every single thing. WhatsApp. Every single thing. YouTube. Not YouTube. Right? As our kids would say, it's YouTube. They're all over. And so they can't fool people. I have seen and I have watched and listened to TikTokers and Facebookers from all walks of life, young people, young African Guyanese, young East Indian Guyanese, young indigenous Guyanese. All of them are out there condemning what is happening in Guyana, condemning the police force, condemning the government's approach, condemning all sorts of propaganda. And you know how that makes me feel? It makes me feel proud. It makes me feel optimistic that this elections, the people are going to put race aside and they are going to vote the corrupt PPP out of office. The only person that may vote for the PPP is James Bond and maybe two Tanti Morals from New Amsterdam, and not even these three Pacus. From what I was told, they gave up already. They're not going to vote for PPP. This is what I was told. And those of you who are in Linden, you can tell me whether it's true or not. You can tell me. These three musketeers.
Yeah, this is the elite.
By the way, none of them is related to Sean Anthony Benn. None of them. Especially none of them. I'm just saying this here in case Sean Anthony Benn is watching.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team. Yeah. Yeah, some PPP all the way.
Fort.
Yeah, one Guyana. Yes.
Go in the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun.
We are
in
here.
the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Right.
PPP all the way. Yeah, we definitely strong.
You know, I'm not laughing at those guys. I wouldn't do that. They're Lindeners, even though some of them are sellouts. But these three guys, I feel sorry for them. And I usually say to folks in Linden, when you see them, if they come around the market and they ask you for a mitai, a bara, pulori, or whatever, or even a puri. My aunt, who is deceased now, she had a nice food stall at the Mackenzie Market. Auntie Rose, those of you from Linden, you know, Auntie Rose, beautiful, beautiful woman. nice heart, kind-hearted woman. She's no longer with us on earth. Died a couple of years ago. Yeah. Yeah. And so when you go, whether in Mackenzie Market or Wisma Market, people are kind-hearted enough. Y'all give these guys something to eat. Give them something to eat. Give them a mobby, give them a sweet drinks, whatever. Because they need help. They are fed up of the people. And this is what's happening. A lot of those guys who, they're switching back. They're fed up of the PPP. These guys are fed up. Have you seen anything from them? Have they said anything else? They're done with the PPP because they realize that the PPP is just about to use people. And those who are still with the PPP, they're saying quietly, that they're just there to make the money and them in key. You should hear some of them cussing Jack Dale. You should hear some of them cussing Irfan Ali. One of them messaged me yesterday, and you guys know I don't have to, the person's right here, they're probably watching. And I said, do not message me. I said, the reason why you guys are messaging people like us, it's because when we talk, when we batak y'all use that to go to Freedom House and say, you see what's going on with we? Yeah? You see what's going on with we? Y'all gotta help we. And that's how the PPP end up giving them some contracts. That's what's happening. So these guys, if they're watching tonight, they have already left the PPP. They left the PPP. All across Guyana, people are leaving the PPP. Why? Because the PPP is corrupt.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team.
Strong team. Number one.
PPP team.
Yeah.
Yeah, some PPP all the way.
Yeah, one Guyana.
Yes.
We're in the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun.
We are
in the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Right.
PPP all the way.
Yeah, we definitely strong.
Yes. Yeah. PPP all the way. Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
I was reading some folks in the comment section. Look, we do not accept trench crappers here at all. And I want to give the trench crappers them an opportunity to throw themselves in the trench. We're not going to throw them right now. If they get out of hand, the water too, then we are going to throw them in the trench, right, Lemon? Then we are going to throw them in the trench. We're not going to just throw them in the trench, but let's see what Pamela Suku is saying, yes, who did they arrest? Y'all stop with this nonsense and let us know who got charged for the murder of the little girl. Now, Pamela Suku, what exactly are you asking? Stop with what nonsense? You tell me, Pamela Suku. What nonsense? You tell me what nonsense we should stop with right now, and I will stop with the nonsense, Pamela Suku. I will stop with the nonsense. Tell me. Talk to us, Pamela, right now. 47 minutes after 9 o'clock. Talk to us right now. Right now, Pamela. Where are you? Pami? Suku? You're trying to suck little senses out of her. Who got arrested? No, that's a good question. You're asking that question again, Pamela. Pamela, good night. Let me ask you before I respond to you. Right now, Pamela. If elections are to be held tomorrow, be honest with me, Pamela. Who will you vote for? And then I'll answer your question. You put LOL, right? I'm glad you didn't put it over the end. But Pamela, tell me, who would you vote for? Tell me. I want to see where you're coming from. You can be brave enough to tell us. It's okay. Let me sit back. and then I'll watch and see what Pamela will say. We'll take a quick little commercial or whatever you call it.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling me
Pamela gonna vote for PPP. Here what Pamela comes back and say, that is private. So now all of a sudden it's private, right? Look, people got to vote the corrupt PPP out. And Pamela, don't fool me, girl. Because now let's get back to what Pamela says. I want to deal with the issue before Pamela. I think Pamela gonna end up going in the trench just now. So here is what Pamela saying. Yeah, I'll stop with this nonsense. She can't say what nonsense, because the more we talk about it, the more somebody said Pamela is a scrape. Pamela, look how you gone and run right into trouble. Right into trouble as a scrape here. You walk right into that, right, scrape? Pamela, scrape. And so this is what Francine, Francine, what's going on with Francine? Francine is a scrape over too. Now, Scrapehead Pamela Suku is saying here, yes, who did it? You know why they didn't arrest anybody, Pamela? Pamela, you know why, right? They detained and they claimed that they had the owner at some Lenora police station. And that's it. It's done with. There's no 72 hours. But Pamela, I bet if you do something, assuming that you're not Kwame or you're not Jack there, that's the thing, right? Assuming that that's the case, why do you think nobody was arrested, Pamela? Why? Do you know why, Pammy? Pammy, do you know why nobody was arrested? Now, nobody's calling you any names, Pamela. It's okay. You have a right to your view. I'm just disagreeing with it. And it's a little fun calling people scrapehead and so forth. Your president, according to information, your president is a scrapehead too. I'm not lying.
Persons can do so peacefully, and they can, but blocking the road for hours is something that affects
Mr.
all the
Ali,
citizens.
I saw you blocking road. Yes, Mr. Ali.
I'm just telling you.
Mr. Ali, there are videos with you protesting, you being a scrape and a tug. Mr. Ali, this is not listen.
He's a scrape and a tug. All right, let's move on. We have other things. We already peeped between. We read between the lines. We know where scrapehead, the scrapehead of the night. We know where that scrapehead is coming from. One good point though is nobody was arrested. Someone was detained, but you know, at the end of the day, they're not going to go and look for the real killer or killers of that little girl. And so they believe that giving out some money and burying, I don't know what's happening behind the scene, mind you. I'm just assuming that they believe, Irfan Ali believes, that is what it is all about. And that is justice. Irfan Ali believes that pushing his hands in his pocket, not his money, taxpayers' money, is justice. Cover up and they're gone. And that's it. And some of his gullible supporters will say, so what they want? They mean you're no killer. They mean know what happened. And then they're shifting blame. It's a blame game all the time to divert attention. That is all that is happening. Now, I want to talk about this guy. This guy. Everybody else went in. Everybody else. Whatever happened to this guy? I want you guys to listen carefully, please. Okay, so that's not the video. Listen to this video here.
Remember Marx here? Slow fire, more fire. Yeah. That is our motto.
2 hours later.
People, I'm getting dragged off of my job.
So now, if you take a look at that video, and this is how desperate the PPP. I don't know which Mark he talking about. Not me. That's not me, right? That's not my stuff. That's not my motto. For all the years you guys been listening to this program, have you guys any night, have you guys heard those sort of words come out of my mouth? Have you? Which Mark is he talking about? And look what they did. The person who did this isn't that clever. Take a look at this guy's face and everything, and you could tell that they chopped the video and all manner of things. It's dangerous what the PPP is doing, but they're not smart people. The guy, as far as I'm concerned, somebody says he works for some sheriff phantom company. I don't know, but take a look at what the PPP is trying to do, and you'll understand the wickedness of the PPP regime. But they're not good at what they do, though. Take a listen again, because he's saying, Mark, I don't know which Mark, because those aren't my words. I don't speak like that, right? So it can't be me. It's probably Mark Phillips, not this Mark Phillips. But listen how wicked and dangerous they are, though. Listen.
Remember Mark said, slow fire, more fire? Yeah, that is our motto.
2 hours later.
People, I'm getting dragged off of my job to go at the station. If you can see, the police are here. They got the people in tongue and all over doing ignorance. Them ain't going for them to come for working people. Just want you.
So he has on a T-shirt. Does he work for sheriff? Does he work for that phantom or security, whatever they call themselves? Does he work there? And if he worked there, and then they pick this guy up, there seems to be some sort of conspiracy, if you ask me. Because he's not, and this plot is thickening, guy. It's look, they have these other guys that the police put out some wanted bulletin for them. They're connected. This guy is some guy in the circle they call Yankee. Look who is next. All of them are PPP. Well, they claim to be supporting the PPP. Maybe for contracts, maybe for other things, who knows? And then there's the other guy that the police put a big wanted bulletin out for about 5 of them, God in heaven knows which one. Otis Grant, an ex-policeman, said to be close to the PPP. He came out and he said, no, they weren't. They were not stealing. They were not doing anything. They were just basically trying to help the situation. Only God knows. Only God knows, but it is what it is. But what I'm showing you guys is the evidence of what the PPP is all about. Now, I want to talk about this here. And so the PPP now, this is sad. To begin with, this is sad. But the PPP wants you guys to believe that somebody out of anger, and I don't know which animal or what animal will do something like this in the name of politics. Who would do this? That's according to the PPP. That's their only narrative. They have done no investigations, none whatsoever. No investigations they have done, none. But Irfan Ali, who tells himself that he's an investigator, and Jagdeo, who tells himself that he's an investigator, they concluded that the person who did this belongs to the opposition. That's their conclusion. Every single time there's elections, that is it. That's it. No police investigations, none whatsoever. And now, again, I wish to state that this is downright wrong, whoever did it. And oftentimes you will hear is probably 2 or 3 persons of African descent just walked up to them and blah. That's the narrative of the PPP regime without any proper investigation. Nothing at all. And so invited them to State House and so forth, because nothing is wrong with inviting people to State House, right? But the only reason they invited these people to State House, it's for the cameras, is to use these people as political tools. That is all that it's about. They're not concerned about these individuals. Now, we're hearing all sorts of things. Allegations leveled against the teacher, I don't wish to repeat those allegations because I do not know whether they're factual or not. But what the police should do, because we've been hearing some things, and if those things are accurate, then the police should do their work. These kids do not deserve this here. They do not. And they do not deserve to be caught up in some sort of maybe personal vibes. And they probably got caught up in that. I'm just assuming, just like the PPP can have their own opinions and whatever without any facts. I'm just stating that maybe it's time that the police, but then again, what police? Do they really do investigations? That's the question. Do they really do investigations? Do they really? I hope they investigate this matter. And once they finish with their investigations, maybe they should reveal it to the public. Reveal it to the public. Don't just jump and try to score political points here, finale. Don't do that. It is wrong what has happened to these kids. But find out. Get the facts. Get eyewitnesses. Get information. Grill individuals. Don't throw blame in order to score cheap political points. Don't do that. Ask the teacher some questions. The teacher may tell you. The teacher may want to give her version. It doesn't mean it's the correct version. Again, that's all I wish to say at this point in time. But you know what? I have no confidence that the police would want to do a thorough investigations to find out what really transpired. Speedy recovery to these kids and whoever else were injured. And it is from the bottom of my heart. I do feel it for these kids. But they should not be used as political props, which is what, in my opinion, the PPP is doing without any investigations. And so they want to tell the world that that is what opposition elements are doing to little kids. And then they're using the ethnicity too. They're playing the race card. But they're not going to remind people what PPP supporters did. They're not. They're just playing it one way. At least we saw the evidence here. What happened in 2020? We saw the evidence. What else is happening in your neck of the woods that weekend at 1 minute after 10, right? Well, you guys by now, you know Linden Tongde. We've been saying it all the time here. Don't bother with Linden Tongde. Put it off until maybe August 1st or something. But they ain't listening, man. They ain't get time. And so they finally decided and they found a way to say it's been halted in the interest of public safety. But when the two youngsters were murdered by police in Linden and people were protesting and so forth, and the funeral was funeral services for those two young men who were murdered by members of the Guyana police force. Mind you, we're not hearing any investigations about the other youngster that was murdered, according to eyewitnesses, by a police officer. We're not hearing anything about that. It's like, that's it. That's done with, right? But yet Jack Dave is saying, oh, look at what we did, and they said this, and they charged the cop. They had no other choice to charge. The evidence was too much. So it's not a favor you guys did in the PPP, Jack Dave. So stop with the nonsense. It's not a favor. But anyways, finally those chaps in Linden got it right, and the Tongue Week has been put on pause. A sensible thing to do. Sadly, it wasn't done in the beginning. So what else is happening in your neck of the woods? What else do you guys want us to talk for a few minutes more, right? You know, they're talking about scrapes. Y'all know what scrapes is, right? Scrapes is basically a racist term used by Jack Day and Irfan. Read between the lines. But it has gotten so out of hand that everybody is scrape now. Even Irfan is a scrape. Even Jagdev is a scrape. They call him Priya a scrape. They're calling this.
Persons can do so peacefully, and they can, but blocking the road for hours is something that
Mr. Ali, you block your road. Yes, Mr. Ali.
I'm just telling you.
Mr. Ali, there are videos with you protesting, you being a scrape and a thug. Mr. Ali, this is not, listen, sometimes we gotta put our position aside.
No, this is not position.
We gotta put our position aside and place ourselves into people's shoes. You gotta understand, even those...
Scrape and a thug. Scrape and a thug. But hear what? They want to give the impression that people who are just scraping up the roads a little bit, they're upset. Maybe that's the case. Maybe the PPP is actually paying people to do these sort of things. And so when these things happen, they rush. They say, oh, a couple of African Guyanese guys did this. And so they lump them right away with the opposition and attempt to blame mainly the PNC for these sort of things. Get it right, Irfan, get it right. Far from the truth, propaganda. But when these guys, Vishal and Badal and Moore and Thomas, none of them name Orlando here. When these guys go out and they, according to the police allegations, mind you, they go out and they do what they got to do and all manner of things, scrapes, right? All manner of things. They stay quiet. Nobody knows whether these guys are PPP supporters or not. No one. And no one could just because of their ethnicity conclude that they are PPP and that the PPP set them up to go into communities and burn roads and do all sorts of things so that the opposition can get the blame. Nobody's saying that. And I'm not going to jump to conclusion because these days sometimes you don't know who is who. You might see some Guyanese East Indian folks and they're dead PNC. You might see a James Bond and you think he's PNC. He's dead PPP. James Bond is more PPP than Chelly Jagan could ever be PPP. But the point I'm making is Irfan Ali and these guys, the minute something happens, they always identify some, oh, it's a black guy. It's always a black guy to these guys. It's always a Guyanese of African descent until when you see otherwise. And you guys get to understand otherwise. There are lots of things that happen in Guyana and persons of African descent got the blame. Lots of things. But I'm glad because of social media, you're getting to see things almost immediately. Once it happens, you get to see. And scrapes, they're not just one ethnic group. Like I've said earlier, scrape is a scrape. But for me, I think the majority of scrapes are sitting at office of the president right now. The majority of scrapes are running ministries. Robeson Ben is a scrape. Mark Phillips is a scrape. And you guys can call some other names. Barrett is a scrape. All of those guys are scrapes. They're scrape heads. But yet they want to call the ordinary folks. It's a derogatory term. So let them accept that. They are scrapes. That is who they are. That is what they are. Now, before I go, and I'm glad that Sion Hollingsworth is saying that his cousin got shot in his eye last night in Linden. He was at the front door talking to his brother when the police drove up and started shooting. They were going after some youths in the neighborhood, and this is what it's saying here. And so our prayers are with that young man, Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth is related to Clinton Hollingsworth. You know, Clinton does his put his cameras on in the morning and he talks about issues and so forth. So we got to offer some prayers to the family, the Hollingsworth family, and speedy recovery. But Scrapehead Irfan and Scrapehead Jack Dale and Scrapehead Mark Phillips and Scrapehead Robeson Ben, they're not going to talk about what happened to this guy Hollingsworth. They're not going to try to investigate. They're not going to invite Hollingsworth and his family to State House to sit and talk. The man was shot in his eye by members of the Guyana Police Force. Of course, they may want to deny that. But nobody, you think Scrapehead Jack Deere cares about this? You think Scrapehead Irfan cares about this? They don't. You see, that's the difference. You see the difference. You're seeing it for yourselves. Hollingsworth, the guy that got shot in his eye, can't go to State House with his family. Can't. He'll be lucky if he gets a visit at office of the president, but not State House. State House, you see what goes on there, right? You see who the folks who are invited to State House. You see, you know what's going on. You guys got the message already. But any attention is being paid to Hollingsworth. Y'all know why they're not paying him any attention, right? Y'all know why. Well, let's get back to the Scrapeheads. I said Irfan Ali is a Scrapehead. Jack Dale is a Scrapehead. Mark Phillips is a Scrapehead. Robeson Ben is a Scrapehead. Who else do you think are Scrapeheads? Leave the opposition out tonight. Just leave them out. We're talking about in this installed corrupt PPP regime. Name the Scrapeheads and I will whistle. Name the Scrapeheads and I will whistle. Of course, Hicken is a Scrapehead. That goes without saying. Claudette Singh is a Scrape. Oh, come on, man. You guys, all of those things go without saying, right? What else we can talk about before we go tonight? I guess that's it. Right, Nancy? And all of the folks at one of the top law firms. Good night to all of you. All of the Scrapeheads. Name the Scrapeheads and we're out of here. They have lots of candlelight vigil tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday now. Monday. As soon as you wake up in the morning, just post a photograph of little Adriana Young for the entire day. Put a photograph of her or something black. Monday, May 5th. All day, all of you. I'll black my page out. You guys will see it. Do that too. She will be buried on Monday. And for those of you who have your candlelight vigil, be safe. Continue to pray for Guyana. Continue to pray for the people of Guyana. Continue to keep the peace in all forms. And of course, watch how the PPP attempt to divert attention. Be careful, guys. You don't want a country that is broken into pieces. What you want is a country that offers peace. And that can only be done if you have a real government. Vote and vote smart. Vote the corrupt PPP out of office. Don't ever allow them to be back in. Because if you get the likes of a James Bond and those guys anywhere close to any ministry, Kiat Itial Dina. I'm out of here. Out of here. All right. I noticed Allison said it's white. Well, I think it's black. You can, to each his own. each his own, indeed, or white. It's always, we can always talk about that, but thank you. I'm out of here, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Vote them out.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team. Number one.
What are you moving for? Face down, I want nobody here. Face down.
Face down, face down.
Face down.
Nobody raise their fucking head.
You're like Sparsy Chinese. What are you all doing?
Why your mother's gone over the fucking walk?
That's what the police do. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. Are you guilty, man? Are you know this, man? Are you know this? Are you know it? Are you fucking know it, man? Are you know this? Are you know it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you know it? Are you know it? That's what the police do. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. The police guilty. Are you guilty, man? Are you know this, man? Are you know this? Are you know it? Are you fucking know it, man? Are you know this? Are you know it? Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you know it? Are you know it?